Alright, Shalom family, Shalom. Um, Today's video, I want to go into the topic of fatherhood. Of course, we got to start it off right. Um, Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah 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 Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, all praises due. Um, yeah, I really want to go into this topic, y'all, because it was just on my spirit, um, you know, yesterday as I was meditating, man, um, just how important fatherhood's going to be in the kingdom. And I'm just going to go through a couple of my notes that I had written down, and I'm also hit a precept, um, or I'm gonna hit some precepts. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through this video all in one take. I have a lot of notes here, quite a few precepts as well, but um, started off with, our children must be a direct reflection of us as our Akwath are to us men of the Lord. So we got to set that example not only for our Akwath, but our children as well. And also, man, once we start scooping the Akwath, some of them might already have children. So we already got to be that example right off the bat. Um, of course, we're going to have our own children as well that the Akwath bring our seed through. But, you know, right off the bat, man, that's something to think about as well. Is how are we going to be an example for them? Um, and this kind of piggybacks off of the last video, setting the example, and this really just diving into being really an example for our children, man, and how we're gonna how we need to bring them up through the fear and admonition of the Most High. I said this is probably the most important aspect of the kingdom. Is how we're gonna raise our kids. You think about it, man. 144,000 of us is not getting turned up. Not to start. He said he was gonna start with a small remnant. 144,000 is gonna be built up. That's important. It's going to be our children that we have to build up. That we have to, um, you know, pretty much get them in this wisdom and knowledge of this truth. You know, um, that's going to be very important, man. That's going to be the next governmental body of this planet. Yes, the universe, but it's going to start here first. Mashiach's kingdom is going to be on this planet, so it's going to start here. So just thinking about it, man, it's pretty important. A lot of us younger ox may have not thought too deep into this. I don't know. It just hit my spirit though, because it's like, man, I never really thought too deep about how important it is to really, how we need to be an example for our kids. Because I'm gonna hit my precepts, but yeah, man, it's vital. It's very vital. And I said we will be breaking the generational curse for all those that come after us. We must be on point as preparing to be leaders for our household. Our kids will never go through what we did here in captivity. They'll never go through it again. Basically, everybody that comes after us, we're breaking that generational curse. That's why everything that's going on is has to do with these heathens getting fucked up by us. Deuteronomy 30:7, the Lord thy power shall put all these curses upon thine enemies and all them that hate thee. roughly paraphrasing. So knowing that, man, is going to be very important. Um, really bringing up our children, man, very important. Of course, we know that we gotta break these heathens down, but bringing up our kids in the midst of that too, we're gonna have to do that, man. Um, it's gonna be very important, man. Like, I'm gonna really touch on it today. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna get all this in one take. I'm already at 5 minutes and I already got like hella precepts, y'all. So this will probably be like a 2-part video. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and get this precept for what I just brought out in my notes. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 54, verse 13. And it says, "And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children." Verse 14. "And righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near thee." That's that curse breaking. We're not going to be in fear anymore. We're not going to be oppressed anymore. And our kids will never have to deal with that. And you also got to think too, man, the way we brought up our kids in captivity is going to be totally different in the kingdom. Totally different. It's all going to be through the Most High's word on how we're going to govern our households, you know? And really, it's straight in the wisdom books, man. And that's all I'm coming out of. straight through the wisdom books, man, because, man, you know, you got to look at how the Most High deals with us as kids. You know, he's hard on us. And he wants us to be hard on our children too. You know? He doesn't take it easy on us. Not for one fucking second does he take it easy on us. That's why we're in captivity now. You know? He don't take it easy on us, man. So, well, we know, of course, we're in captivity because most of our nation went off, and then, of course, us being the 1/3, yeah, we were willing to be obedient to the Most High, but it was guilty by association. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Let's start off with this precept, man, because this one was really hitting different. Just thinking about it, and this is a precept I come back to quite often, just thinking about it, man. This is Second Esdras, coming out of the Apocrypha, Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 21. It says, "And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up." So, he said he was going to multiply us, and I think, man, there's a lot of precepts in Ezekiel for that. I think there's some in Jeremiah as well. I'm not going to go ahead and bring them out, but yeah, man, that's how he's going to multiply us, man. So, of course, we know that the women are going to get saved through childbearing, right? So, part of that, they're going to start bringing forth children faster than what they do in these carnal bodies. You know, once they get changed, they're going to be able to bring forth children a lot faster. And, you know, so if you have 2, 3, or say like 3 or 4 aquath, that's about 12 kids in a year. You know what I mean? And I'm only talking about women of the Lord. I'm not talking about, I'm not even, or Israelite women in a sense. Yeah, just Israelite women in general. I'm not even talking about concubines, none of that right now. But I'm just talking about our Israelite aquath. They're going to be able to bring forth about, 12 know, 12, 3 or 4 aqua can bring forth like 12 children. Of course, if you have more, you can add on to that. But um, yeah, man. So it's just important to think about. Like you say, you're gonna have all these aquas. You're gonna be having for bring forth a lot of kids, and you gotta really think. You gotta bring. You gotta be there for each and every one of them, man. You have 20 some kids off the bat. It's like you gotta be there for them. You know what I mean? That's why, my opinion, you know, it's best to start off small, maybe 2 or 3. You know, that's probably what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Right off the bat. Then, as time goes on, as I'm there for those 2 or 3, I'll be like, okay, now I can move on. You know what I mean? Now I'm here for the children. I know, you know what I mean. Just trying to get the groove of things, man. Of course, we'll be turned up. We'll be all knowing. I know that, but we're still in these carnal bodies right now. So just thinking about it, um, you know, I think just me personally, I think that's how I would want to go about it. Everybody else is different though, so you just got to think about it, man. Just bringing up our children is going to be of the utmost importance. Um, you know, they know that's how the Most High gets His glory. He loves children, and that's why we're going to have a lot of children in the kingdom. So, and like I said, man, we're going to have to bring those children up through the fear and admonition of the Most High, decently and in order. So, it's just something to think about, man. Like I said, if you're not a father now, just think you're going to be one eventually, bro. And you need to be preparing yourself to step into that lot because, man, the end is here, man. So, you know, it ain't going to be too long before we're out there gathering our aquath, building up our nation, man. So, it's time to be getting into that mindset now. Um, you know, of course, we got to be in that warrior mindset. And I don't think a lot of us have a problem being in that warrior mindset, but aspects like this, I just feel like definitely need to be touched on. But I'm going to start off my precepts, Sirach, chapter 30. I'm going to start at verse 1, man. This is Sirach chapter 30, Ecclesiasticus chapter 30, starting at verse 1. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chastiseth his son, Salah, shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. So, we got to chastise our children, just like the Most High chastises us, man. Got to put that rod of correction on them. You know, and even looking at, you know, some of you, some of you like older ox, you already know, like, man, being in the Israelite family, like, man, y'all got it. You know what I mean? Pretty much, you know, y'all was disciplined. Me personally, bro, where I grew up in this wicked generation, man. Well, we all did, but I'm just talking about like this final, you know what I mean? Like, I forgot what they call us if you were born in the 2000s. I don't know what the fuck they call us. I forgot what that term is, but literally, man, as a kid, bro, I didn't get whipped a lot, beaten a lot, you know what I mean? I really just had to deal with like being in a single parent home, but nah, bro. I didn't have to really deal with that. You know what I mean? And seeing that I really didn't have to deal with being like beaten as a child like that. I've gotten threatened to be beaten, but I don't think I ever got beat as a child. From what I remember, bro, I don't think I did. You know what I mean? And I think I would have remembered that shit. I got yelled at a lot, but never beat, bro. You know what I mean? So just knowing that I didn't even grow up on that for real, and now I'm gonna have to transition into something where I'm gonna have to, put that rod of correction on my kids, man. This is something I'm really just taking into account. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you ox can attest to this, but that's just me though. Me personally, I didn't go through all that. I just didn't. Um, but I know once we bring up our kids, they're gonna have to go through that. But it's gonna be godly discipline that we're putting on them. You know what I mean? Godly discipline, and we're gonna bring them up through, like I said, the fear and ammunition of the Most High. So it's gonna be the utmost importance um, that we discipline them, man. Um, you're gonna see as we continue reading on, verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he had left one behind him like that is like himself. Of course, we know we're gonna have eternal life, but just going into that, man, like if you have your father die, it's like if you really brought up your son that reflects you and who you were, it's gonna be like you never left. That's basically what that scripture is saying. Verse 5, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. So, hey, right there, man, scriptures against his enemies. We've always had enemies as a people. We will always have enemies as a people, because the Most High only cares about us, man, and these other nations don't care about the Most High. So that in itself, bro, is gonna make us a target to everybody. But they can't do shit, bro. These other nations ain't nothing, man. Um, and they gonna find out real soon that they ain't nothing by the wrath that the Most High pours out on them through these plagues, and that spiritual power, man. Verse 7, he that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry. So, yeah, man, we gotta make sure that we have balance with our kids, man. Yeah, they're beautiful little kids, you know what I mean. But of course, once we get turned up, man, we're gonna be thinking from a spiritual perspective, straight spiritual. Like Brother Matt had brought out the 2/3 dark zone, man. We're gonna have to raise the 2/3, man. That's something to think about as well. Like, we gonna be fucking them up, man. Fucking them up. You know what I mean? Trying to pull them back towards the Most High, man. You know. So, yeah, man, we just gotta make sure we're disciplining our kids the right way. As the scriptures command us to, or tell us to. You know what I mean? So, it's verse 8. A horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. Cocker thy child, which means pamper, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. So going back to verse 8, yeah, man, we can't just allow our kids just to be out here roaming around and shit. You know what I mean? Like, do whatever the fuck they want. That's what that single parent household was for in this captivity, man. Letting our kids go out and do whatever the fuck they want, man. Nah, And I'm not saying it was like that for everybody, but like, you really look at it, like these kids nowadays, bro, they get away with a lot of shit, man. And it's just not going to be like that in the kingdom. It's going to be strict. It's going to be under austere order. You know what I mean? So, knowing that, man, we got to really be thinking about this shit. How we're going to teach our kids, It's already going to be in us. But like you said, we still gotta meditate on it to prepare for that time. So I don't know what the fuck that sound is, but yeah, man. We can't just. We're not gonna. None of our kids are gonna be just left alone. None of that shit, man. They're gonna be raised up the right way. Um, and then when it says, "Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with them, he will bring thee to heaviness." Yeah, man. Literally, like of course, it's not saying we can't, um, love our children. You know what I mean? It's just saying if you're just lovey dovey all the time, you more than likely you're gonna let them get away with shit. But if you're balanced, you're gonna love them, and then when they fuck up, you gonna know, you're gonna have to put that left hand on them. And over time, they are gonna respect that. They're gonna respect that. Any child that has grown up in a two-parent household, um, you know what I mean? Any child that's grown up in a two-parent household, uh, that that got like discipline, man, they respected their parents growing up. Once they grew up, they respected their parents for what they did, because it made them a better person. And we want to make sure that when we bring up our kids, we want to make them the best of themselves, man. You know what I mean? That's the plan. And the Most High's bringing out. He brought out the best of us by whooping our ass for generation after generation. So we got to do the same with our kids, man. We got to do the same thing with our kids. Verse 10, it says, "Laugh not with them, lest thou have sorrow with them, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in thy end." And I guess, like I said, it's not saying you can't laugh with your kids. It's just saying if you overdo it, man, you know, you gotta be balanced with the kids, man. You have to, because when they're young, they need to learn. They're straight learning, bro. So there's gonna be a lot of correction that you're gonna have to put on them. You know what I mean? A lot of correction growing up. You know what I mean? So it's just something to really think about. In verse 11, this really hit home too. "Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies." No liberty, no freedom. Y'all ain't gonna be having no freedom like y'all did in this fucking captivity. Oh, hell no. Where this wicked ass system sent off your kids to school and this and that. You know what I mean? Got the child support and shit. All that shit is getting done the fuck away with, man. Shit, if we got a wicked ass kid, man, we cut this fucking head off. Straight like that. Most High's word said it's fine. You know what I mean? I can't remember the precept, but if you go back, I think somewhere in the Torah, it goes into that. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be in Leviticus, but I brought out a video before. I cut up Elder Barge's creamy ass with with that. I think he had brought out, said something about, "Oh, we're under the laws of liberty. I thought the old laws were done," or something. I can't exactly remember, y'all. I'm not worried about his creamy ass. His ass is scheduled for destruction, man. But yeah, I just remember bringing out a video, bringing out some of the laws that are gonna come back, and yeah, man, we're not gonna play that shit in the kingdom, bro. It's gonna be under an austere order, like I said. But yeah, y'all kids ain't gonna be just roaming around here doing whatever the fuck y'all want. Oh, hell no, it's not going down like that. No sir, no sir. Verse 12, "Bow down his neck while he's young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child." Beat him on the sides while he's a child. Like I said, you're gonna have to bring a lot of correction to to a little ass kid that's coming up, because they gotta learn. Their brains are still developing, right? So they gotta learn. They have a lot to learn when they're a little ass kid. That's why you teach them young. That's why you teach them young. You don't wait till they're like 9, 10 years old to start teaching them. You start teaching them 2, 3. You know what I mean? You start teaching them young, because they're still in that developmental phase. You know what I mean? I think they stay into that phase till about 7 or 8. I don't know the study on that. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's around 7 or 8 years old, man, where the brain is pretty much still in that developing stage and it's just taking everything in. You know what I mean? So once that kid becomes like 9 or 10 years old, shit, you know what I mean? They'll pretty much know like what to do. You know what I mean? They'll know what to do. Um, but yeah, like we just got to make sure we're bringing up our kids. And you got to think of King David. How old was he when he first started fighting? He was 12 years old. 12. You don't think we're gonna have children that are gonna be able to fight at like 12 years old? Come on now. Come on. And like I said, brought out 2 Ezra 6 and 21. If they're gonna be born faster, and where it said children of a year old are gonna be able to speak, it means their development is gonna be a lot faster as well. He's gonna speed everything up, man. But yeah, it says, bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn, and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart. Chastise thy son, and hold him to labor. Labor, work, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee. So, we're going to have to teach them the right ways, and bringing them up, man, on what they need to be doing, and how things are going to be running the kingdom specifically. You know what I mean? So it's just important that we take this to account, man, about how we're going to bring up our children. Like I said, y'all, that was just a part of the video. Like I wanted to bring out those first. I wanted to bring that out from Sirach 30, but shit, I still got hella precepts to bring out, and I'm not gonna run over the 30-minute mark. Like I said, I'm just gonna make a part 2, man. I should be able to knock it out in part 2, but really, I just had to bring out the introduction and why I wanted to bring this video out, and then just kind of go through that in Sirach with y'all. But yeah, man, I'm gonna make a second part to this video. Like I said, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to knock this out in one video. So yeah, man, y'all stay tuned. Y'all probably see this video. Y'all are gonna see this video probably by the time I get off work early in the morning, and then I'll have another video dropping later that day, or later today, Salak. So y'all just be on the lookout for that. Lord willing, you guys were edified though. Just want to end this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushai. All praises due. See you on the next one. Shalom.